welcome to the first day of the 3-day movement reset. Today is going to be very gentle, we'll be very grounded, spending most of the time lying down on the mat. And to get started today, we will be in seated, finding our posture. So if you know that you like to prop yourself up on something, then go grab that now. I'm gonna grab my block. And let's get started. So make sure that you can sit comfortably. So the reason for being propped up is it does allow for the hips to just be a little bit more relaxed in the seated position. We don't want to feel any gripping or tension in our body when we're here. So we are finding ourselves in the seated position, and we're just going to start by getting in tune with our sits bones. So here you're just rocking a little bit back behind your sits bones, bringing your spine into a rounded position, and then we're going a little bit in front of our sits bones and finding an arched position. So just rounding and arching. And you should just get a sense for those two bony landmarks at the very bottom of your pelvis that you're going in front of and behind. And then find somewhere in the middle of that, and we're going to go side to side. So you feel the weight going more to one sits bone than the other. And then just take that in a circle. So we're going through that forward and back position over a side. Switching directions, circling over those sits bones, going a little bit beyond them in that circle. And then keep going that direction, but we're going to phase the movement out very slowly. So you just want to make that circle smaller and smaller until you can barely see or feel that circle. And then eventually you just land right on those sits bones. Now bring your fingers to these like lobster claw fingers. You're going to bring them to your rib cage, to the sides of your rib cage. We're going to take a deep breath into the hands. So you feel the ribs expanding into the hands, and then exhale, the ribs pull away. Do that once more, inhaling into the hands, exhale, they pull away. You can take the hands away now, just let them relax. And now we want to think about still reaching to the sides of our ribs, but also back. You can imagine there's a wall behind you that you're pressing into. So on that inhale, we're breathing out and back. Exhale, you feel that natural contraction. And again, inhaling and exhaling. Wonderful. We're going to keep that nice expansive breath going, but now think about our head, especially the back of our head, the back of our neck, and our ears. So on the inhale, think about lengthening the back of the head, the tops of your ears up to the ceiling. On the exhale, try to keep that length. Inhaling, reaching up with the top of the head, the back of the head. And exhaling, you stay tall. If anything, you get taller on the exhale, because that exhale has a natural kind of grounding, contracting feeling. And so you want to see if you can keep some length, some tension going along your spine, down and up as you breathe. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, finding the length. And exhale, keeping that length. Wonderful. Still staying seated, we're going to just do a little side bend over to one side. So you feel your ear drop, your shoulder drop, and a little crunch in your side. And then we're going to go up and over, find that length through center, and we side bend to the other side. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, side bend. Inhaling up. Exhale, side bend. Keep doing that just one more time to each side. Really relaxed on that side. From here, we're going to go to that side bend, and then we're going to round over the front and just hang here on the front for a second. So we feel the head really relaxed forward. We're not trying to lift our head at all, just let gravity pull it down. The shoulders are really rounded. It's kind of like a lazy forward folded position. And then continue that circle over to the other side to land in that side bend. And really feel here that you are only side bent. We're not rounded at the same time. So you feel like if you were between two very narrow panes of glass, you'd just be right between them, not hitting the glass in front of you or behind you. And then we bring it up back tall. Let's switch directions. So we side bend to the side we just came from, checking that we are truly just side bent, rounding with the exhale over the front. Take a pause there, feel relaxed in your forward fold. And then inhaling, finding that side bend on the other side and coming up tall. We're gonna go a little quicker through it this time. So switching sides again, so going to the side you just came from. Exhaling over the front, inhaling, going to the other side and up, and then return where you came from. Exhaling over the front, inhaling, side bend and rebuild. Exhale, side bend, going through the front, inhale, new side and up, and then the last time, exhaling, side bend, rounding, going to the other side, and coming up with that inhale. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're gonna go a little bit into our arms, a little bit into our shoulders. So we're gonna take our arms down to the sides, and we're gonna rotate the arms so that the palms are facing forwards. Have the shoulder blades pulled down the back. We're reaching from our elbows out the fingertips. Fingers are spread wide. You might already get sensations in your shoulders, in your chest, and your hands here. Then we're going to lift up the arms until they're in the height of our shoulders. Keep reaching here. We're reaching as wide as possible. And we're just gonna hold. And here you can check in with your posture. Where are your sit bones? Are you still just directly over those bony landmarks? Do we feel the rib cage pulling back a bit to that imaginary wall behind us? Where is the back of your neck? Can you find length on an inhale? Exhale, keep that length and widen the arms. Do that one more time. Inhale, tall. Exhale, reach with those arms, reach with the top of your head, ground with your sits bones. And then we can lower our arms down. Okay, we're gonna come off of whatever we were seated on. So you can put that to the side. And we are going to lie ourselves down. So we're setting the feet in front of our sits bones. Our arms are just wide, relaxed on the floor. And just check in with the back of your neck that it can stay long. So ideally, the chin is going to be facing directly forwards to the wall in front of you. If it is facing up to the ceiling and you're not able to comfortably pull the chin a little bit down, then prop your head up on a towel, a folded up towel, so that you can just bring your head more in alignment with your spine. Okay, so starting here, we're just gonna let the legs go flopping to one side, and then we're gonna lift them up, back to center, and then they flop to the other side. We're gonna exhale, pull the ribs down as the legs come up. Inhale, they lower to one side. Exhale, ribs pull down to the floor first, and that gives a little impulse to begin the lift. And just continue this lifting and lowering of your legs. You can go at your own pace here. And just check in with the shoulders. You don't have to force them to the floor, but do feel like they are grounding a little bit, giving a little opposition to the movement of your legs. And whatever side you're landing towards, just stay there, and we're gonna hold for a breath in. And on the out, really feel your top thigh lengthen away from you. Inhaling, holding. And on the exhale, ribs pull down, legs come up. We inhale, switching sides. And we hold, thinking about the thigh pulling, that top thigh pulling away from you. And then on the next exhale, ribs pull down, the legs come up. Okay, so now we're gonna go into a bridge. So the arms are gonna come a little closer to us, and you want your palms facing down so we can press into the floor with our arms, with our hands, and feel that your feet are pretty much in line with your sits bones and the heels are relatively close to your body. But you can always adjust where your feet are if you feel you need them to be closer or farther away. Okay, so from here, we're gonna over-exaggerate an arch with our back. So we're really making the biggest lower back curve that is possible. And then we're gonna go the other direction. We exhale, we're tucking, we're rounding, and trying to bring our lower back towards the floor. We inhale, arch, exaggerate that arch. Exhale, round, lower back into the floor. One more time like that. Inhale, arch, and exhale, round. Staying rounded, we're now gonna lift our pelvis off the mat, peeling our lower back off the mat. Then we're gonna be peeling our upper back off the mat until we feel our upper back just up by our shoulders pressing into the floor. Those arms can press down and help us there, as well as the feet. Check that your knees aren't opening out to the sides, they're in line with our hips. We're gonna lift our arms up, so the arms are raising up to the ceiling, and then we're gonna bring the backs of the hands to the mat. Think about reaching far back with your hands here. Okay, we're gonna take an inhale, rib cage is expanding wide. Exhale, have the hips lift higher as the rib cage tries to reach towards the floor, even if it doesn't touch the floor. Inhale again, ribs expand. Exhale, hips lift as the ribs go down. And then we're gonna keep rolling down until you feel your upper back make contact with the mat. Hold here for a moment. Feel like those arms can still reach. And then as we start to lower down the lower back, if you feel the lower back going down in one big chunk, reach the arms back up to the ceiling and then continue lowering down from there. We end with our pelvis flat on the mat. Bring your hands back down to the mat, the palms to the mat with the arms at the sides. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round that lower back, tuck the pelvis. We're pressing the lower back into the mat, and we continue to roll our spine up piece for piece until we are on those shoulders. Arms reach up to the ceiling. Backs of the hands find the floor behind us. Reach long with your arms. Inhale, hips lift, chest lifts. Exhale, keep the hips high as the chest starts going down. The rib cage starts trying to find the floor. And then just take that little moment once the upper back is on the floor, seeing if you can still articulate through your lower back, keeping the arms back behind you. And if you can't, you can always bring those arms up to the ceiling. So those are the two options as we continue. Either rolling down with the arms back behind you the whole time, or arms can reach up to the ceiling. From here, we're gonna do two more. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Start peeling your spine off the mat. Landing, pressing our shoulders into the floor, knees in line with the hips. Arms reach up and back. Reach long with those arms as the backs of the hands find the floor. Inhale and exhale. We start lowering down the spine, the upper back finding the floor first, articulating through the lower back wherever our arms are, landing with the pelvis flat on the mat. Arms come back to the floor in front of us at our sides. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Tucking. Maybe on this last one, you can articulate even more. Once we're up in the bridge, the arms reach up and back. Find that length out of those arms, out of those fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. We're lowering down. As you lower, keep reaching with those arms. We are pulling ourselves in two directions here. And then once that pelvis is down, you can bring your arms back down to the mat to finish. From here, we are lying down on a side. So pick a side to start with. We're having our bottom leg in line with our body long, and our top leg is bent with the knee in front of the hip. We're stacking our hands and the head is relaxed down. And if this is really uncomfortable to have the head just flat on the ground here, you can again prop your head up with a towel. Think about lengthening your top waist away from you a little bit, that top hip away from you. And we're gonna reach really far away with this top hand. So we're going a little bit past that bottom hand. And we're gonna start drawing a quarter circle, going towards the wall behind us. And then just take a pause once your arm is in line with your ear, or pretty close to your ear. So we're in a really big side bend. Can you reach farther with your hand away from you and farther away with your top hip, creating that opposition? We're gonna inhale, start turning your chest to the ceiling. And that should naturally start to turn your arm so that your palm is facing the ceiling. And then we're gonna end the circle with our arms in a T. So we made a half circle with our arms. We're gonna exhale, reverse back. So start turning your chest towards your bottom hand. Rotate your arms so that your palm is facing down. Take a moment in that side bend again, enjoy it, and then finish your circle with your hands stacked. We repeat. We're gonna inhale, reach far away with that top hand, going into your side bend, create opposition as you pass through. Rotating the chest to face the ceiling, ending arms in a T. Exhale, reverse back out. Chest is rotating back to your front, and we close. Inhale, twisting, passing through that side bend and into that big twist with the arms in a T. Exhale, reversing back out, and we do one more. Reach, reach, reach with that inhale. Opening into your twist, and exhale, closing it off. We're gonna switch sides. So we're gonna come up and around, lying down on the other side. So finding that bottom leg long in line with our body, top leg bent, knee in line with the hip, and arms are gonna be stacked in front of our chest. You can prop your head up if you did on the other side, and think about lengthening this top hip away from you. Also, those hips are stacked. Okay, reach a little farther away with that top hand. Inhale, we're gonna start going to that side bend. Take a pause in that side bend on this new side. Can you pull the hip away more? Can you reach more with that top hand? Rotate the chest to the ceiling and open into your twist. Exhale, closing. Pass through that side bend moment and close. Inhale, reach, 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 reach. As the chest opens, our palm is facing up to the ceiling. And exhale, closing it off. Inhale, reach. Pass that side bend, create that opposition. And open, and exhale, closing it off. Last one, reaching long, make it your biggest twist, and exhale, finishing with those hands stacked. Okay, we are going to roll back onto our backs and get a little bit more into our legs, but starting with also a little bit of engagement, a little bit of awareness for our lower abs. So the arms are back at the sides. We're just comfortably lying down here. Check that you have natural curves in your spine so we're not overly rounded, we're not overly arched, we're just right in the middle. And we're gonna bring our legs and our feet as close together as comfortable. We're taking an inhale here. Exhale, think about the backs of the ribs trying to find the floor, and we hover off a foot. And then we inhale, bring that foot down. And exhale, ribs find the floor, and the other foot hovers off the mat. Inhale, bring it down. We want to have a sense that the hips are not rocking, so you can even put your hands on your hips and just see on that exhale, when you hover the foot off, are you able to keep your hips still? And also the shape of your spine the same. So just keep with that, alternating, hovering off a foot, inhale, bringing it down, And if you are able to keep your hips really quiet, really still, you can try bringing your leg all the way up to tabletop. So that means your knee is stacked over your hip and your knee's at 90 degrees. Inhale, lowering it down, and exhale, hovering or lifting up to tabletop. Doing one more on each side. Inhale, lowering. Exhale, lifting. Checking in with those hips. How is it feeling on each side? And we're gonna go back to that first side and stay with the leg up in tabletop. So we're all gonna find tabletop on that exhale. And we're gonna pull back our toes, fanning our toes out, and then pulling our ankle back so we're in this really strong flexed position. And we're gonna reach that leg away from us, stretching that leg out. See if you can get your leg long. Then we're gonna press through the ankle, so pointing at the ankle first, kind of ending in this like high heel shoe position, and then we're gonna point through the toes. Bend your knee, bring your leg back to tabletop. First, the toes flare and fan out. Then we flex the ankle, extend your leg out, extend through the ankle, then the toes, and bend the knee, pulling it to tabletop. So we extend out and bend. I'm liking an inhale going out and exhale as we bend and pull in, but you can switch that. And as we do a couple more here, just check in with your hips. Are they still in the same height, in the same line? And then we're gonna end with our leg extended out and our foot flexed. We're gonna exhale, we lower our leg down to a hover, keeping that leg long, point through the ankle, then the toes, and we lift our leg up into a hamstring stretch. Hold here. Check that you are in parallel, so we don't want our knee pointing out to the corner of the room. And you're pulling your leg in as close as you can take it, just with the leg itself. So it should feel like a gentle stretch here. We flex the toes, then the ankle, exhale, leg lowers away from us. Check with those hips, are they even? Point through the foot and lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. And just know you can adjust how low your leg is going. You want to still be able to control the shape of your spine, keeping it in that neutral, natural curves position. So you don't have to go super duper low if it's not controllable for you. Last time that leg is lifting up. Now we're gonna cross that ankle over the other thigh. So the thigh, that's the lower leg, and your foot can be relaxed here. And we're gonna lift our leg up into this figure four stretch. Again, only using the legs to lift ourselves into the stretch. Let your hips rock side to side. You might feel this stretch shift and change a little bit on one side to the other. And then we're gonna circle the hips so that we are circling a little closer to our bodies and then away from our bodies. So we're going a little bit into the stretch and away. A little hello. And go the other direction. Just breathing naturally, relaxed here. And then once your legs are back pulled in towards you, just hold there for a breath. Enjoy it. And then bring your feet back to find the floor, legs close to each other. We're doing the other side. So take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, ribs find the floor. We lift our new leg up. And we flex the toes, then the ankle, and extend that leg out away from us. Extend through the ankle, then the toes. Pull back to your tabletop. Toes, then ankle, flex back and extend. Point through the ankle, then the toes, and back to your tabletop. Breathing in for one of the movements, exhaling for the other one. You get to choose which. And just check in with your hips. I really like to touch my hip bones. That gives me a nice sense of where they are. But if something else makes more sense for you, do that. And we're going to end on that extended position out. And on your exhale, We lower that leg down, pointing through the foot and lifting up. Hold in this first hamstring stretch. Just check where your knee is pointed. It should be pointing more towards the direction of your face. How close can you get it just with the leg itself? And then we flex through the foot and lower down. Inhaling up. Foot flexes, exhale down. Foot points and up. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. Last time down. And last time up. We cross that ankle over the bottom leg thigh and pull ourselves into that figure 4 stretch. And just rock, hips rocking side to side. Noticing on which side you feel a little bit more tension, a little bit more pull. And then start your circles, circling in and out. So we're just circling with the pelvis to bring the legs in and away from us. Switching that direction. Enjoying it. Really use that exhale to release. And our spine is moving here, so you can let that spine arch and round in reaction to this circle. Ending with the legs pulled in close to us. Take an inhale and exhale. Enjoy that last moment in the stretch. Bring the feet down, and we are going to come up to all fours. Okay, in all fours, we are going to tuck our toes and then shift some weight back so that we're feeling a stretch in our feet and ankles. Holding here, just check that your ankles are pretty much in line with the ball of your foot. So you just want to watch out that you're not like really bowed, showing it from the back, that you're not really bowed out or in. You're as stacked with those ankles as you can be. And then we're going to come in and out of this stretch. So we're going to point the toes, point the ankles, shift our weight back, and then shift forward onto the hands, tuck those toes, flex the ankle, and shift back onto the flexed foot. And we're just moving in and out of this. So again, saying hello to the stretch as opposed to forcing it. And we're doing one more round. We're going to end with our feet flexed. So once you're there, we are just going to hold. And you can experiment here with how much weight you can hold on your flexed feet here. Maybe it feels really comfortable and gentle to be all the way up. For me, it does not. My ankles and feet are one of the tightest areas of my body. So I, especially in the morning like it is for me right now, I especially need to keep some weight on my hands. So wherever you are with your hands or seated all the way up on your feet, that's great. Just make sure you can enjoy and relax into this position. Taking one last breath here. And then we're going to point those toes and shift weight onto the pointed and extended ankles. So for me, this position, I can sit all the way up, but again, you always have that option to have some weight on your hands. So just holding here for one more breath, really actively pressing the ankles into the floor. And now we're going to go back into all fours. But be in a pretty open all fours, so our weight is over our, or our shoulders are over our hands, but just walk your knees back a little farther than you normally would have them. And we're gonna arch the back. So we're lifting up the tailbone, reaching the chest forward, and then let the head follow that arch of your upper back. Shift your weight back towards your heels. So we're in a child's pose. Once the head drops, tuck the pelvis, round your back, and start shifting your weight towards your hands. Once your weight's on your hands, we arch again, lifting the tailbone, reaching the chest forward, looking forwards, and pulling back to the child's pose. Once the head drops, round, tuck that pelvis, and we shift forwards. Once you're on those hands, inhaling, pulling back through that arch, and exhaling, reaching forwards with the rounded back. And you can make this pretty big. Like once our weight is on our hands, you can extend through your hips, open your chest, and be in kind of like an upward dog type position. You can also make it smaller. Yeah, so see how your spine feels. You want it to feel cozy in your lower back. So you can stop a little bit, not completely in that extended position with your hips. So whatever you're doing, however big you're making the movement, just do one more. Ending in the child's pose. And keep your arms reaching long. I want this to feel like a shoulder stretch. So those arms are actively reaching forwards. Our hands are energized. And on the exhale, really feel like your shoulders can sink, your armpits can sink towards the floor. Just enjoy that for one more breath in and out. And walk your hands in, coming upright. And then we will end with 3 breaths in a comfortable seated position. So choose however you want to sit. So ending in this comfortable seated position, you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable, natural. You can keep them open. Just find your posture for a second. So where are your sits bones underneath you? Can you find that imaginary wall behind you? And we're going to take a breath in and out. Inhaling, finding that length in your spine. Exhaling, keeping that length. One more. If your eyes were closed, you can let them flutter open. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining me for day 1 of the 3-day movement reset. And I will see you on the mat tomorrow for day 2.